Farmers today are facing rising costs, volatile markets, and extreme weather. The A Better Way to Farm podcast digs into strategies to help you take control of farm inputs and maximize profit so your farm can thrive for generations. Remember to take advantage of our free resources at abetterwaytofarm.com. Now, from America's Heartland, here's your host.
Hey guys, it's Rod here at A Better Way to Farm, where we increase yields and improve profits. We're excited to have you tune in today. This is going to be a bell ringer. I am certainly excited about it. Today we have the honor, someone who's a very good friend of ours that we've got to know over the last couple of 3 years, and I'm excited to have them be a part of the team and get a chance to work with them. So I'd like to just say thank you, Josh, for taking the time to help me with this podcast today.
Yep, not a problem.
I really appreciate it. So let's dive right in. What part of the world do you live in?
I'm in the far east corner of Iowa, right
Excellent.
where Illinois and Wisconsin meets.
Excellent. So you're up north, and I'm 3 miles from Missouri, and you're 3 miles from Wisconsin. So there you go. So let's talk about, Josh, first of all, how did you get acquainted with A Better Way to Farm?
Followed you guys on the Facebook page for about a year, and I listened to the podcast, just decided to reach out.
Excellent. So you reached out to the Facebook page. Someone got a hold of you. And what was the next step after that?
The next step was I got invited to Fundamentals of Agronomy training in Ankeny. I went to that, learned a lot of stuff I didn't know that I thought I knew.
Okay.
And the first year I just did foliar feeding. I didn't implement the whole process, but liked what I seen the first year, and the second year I went full throttle with everything. I put the whole liquid system on my planter and bought a drone.
Wow. All right. We'll go down that drone road here just in a little bit. Talk to us about why did you put a liquid system on your planter?
Well, the first year I used dry P&K and urea. I didn't feel like I was getting the benefit out of it like I would if with the liquid system. So that's what made me decide to switch over to liquid.
Yep. I did a video talking about Ken Perry helping saying, here's how you better manage phosphorus. And it's been a journey. You know, Farm Journal was not in favor of row placement for quite some time. And now they're coming out and they're talking about how much more effective it is to go 2x2 and even how much more efficient it is to go in the seed trench. And so you figured out when you stopped broadcasting and you put it in the seed trench, you get a lot more for your money, correct?
Correct. I'm trying to do more no-till and more cover crops, and learning that just blowing it on top of the ground, it's not getting into the soil profile.
Yeah, it tends to stay right there where we put it, and roots don't grow up, and that's why we replace that phosphorus and that potassium. What are you doing with your nitrogen program now, Josh?
Now I put half down with the 2x2 on the planter.
Okay.
And then I come back about V12 and Y drop the rest of it.
Okay.
Before then, I just blew it all on urea.
I like that plan of a split application, that you can get a lot better efficiency number doing that. What's your total pounds of applied nitrogen, and how does that compare to, and what kind of yields are you expecting with your corn?
I'm putting down 180 pounds total. I'm expecting about 250 bushel corn is what I expect. I've been exceeding that.
Nice. 250. So, all right, you're looking at that 0.7 there. And we like that. That's one of our goals, is to attempt to get that efficiency number down to that level. And so that works for us very, very well. What do you fundamentally tell me what have been the effects of switching from the dry broadcast program over to row placement?
Spending less dollars, handling a lot less product. The liquid is very friendly to use. I'm not making an extra trip across the field since I'm putting pretty much everything down with the planter. I like that. Okay.
So talk to me about this. Do you have any problem with corrosion on your planter?
No, not at all. I've never worked with liquid before, and I haven't had any problems with it at all. It's been great.
Obviously now the nitrogen's a different story. You got to pay pretty close attention with that, right?
Yeah, I did get a little corrosion the first year on my planter from it, but it was pretty minor. Okay. As long as you get it washed off right away, you're good.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we want to pay attention and go from there. I would agree with that. Talk to me about, why did you foliar feed?
Actually, before I joined up with you guys, I did a fungicide pass with some micronutrients, but it was just as you guys would say, a shotgun approach. It was a blend of zinc, boron, manganese, and some other stuff that I don't really know what was in it. And they flew it on with the helicopter and the fungicide. And that year, I thought I seen a pretty good yield increase. And at that time, I didn't know much about micronutrients. That sparked my curiosity with them.
Cool. And then when you came back and foliar fed, now you've got your own drone, right?
Correct. Yep.
And tell me what you're doing now. What kind of a foliar mix are you using, and how do you determine what it is that you're going to use?
So first, I start with a tissue test about V1, V2, and then I get a recommendation back. And usually, it always calls for a 31818 is what I use for a carrier.
Right.
Always boron, always sugar. Depending on field to field, like the manganese and the zinc seem to vary.
Yeah, they do. And that's why we do it field by field, do the tissue test on each field. We consider that to be a really good plan. I can appreciate that. How many times you're flying that drone? How many foliar feed passes are you making, Josh?
So last year when I bought the drone, I got it at fungicide time. So I was only able to fly it at fungicide. But before I did the V3, V5 foliar feed on all my corn with a ground rig. So
Okay.
this year I plan on doing the V3, V5 on everything. And then I'm going to come back and pick out my best corn and do the V8, V12 pass. Because I never tried that one yet. I wasn't able to get that one accomplished because the corn's usually too tall to get in there with my ground rig.
Right.
Then I'll come back and do the fungicide pass.
Perfect. I like that plan. That's good business and should really boost those yields and push it up. Now, Josh, how many years have you been using our products?
This will be the third year.
So this is your third growing season. Okay.
Yep.
And here, I don't know, a year and a half ago, you decided you'd actually like to join the team and do some marketing as well. Is that true?
Yeah, last fall I joined.
So you'd use the product for basically 2 growing seasons, and then you said, hey, I think I'm going to do this. What prompted you to jump in and start working with us on the marketing side?
I really like the results I've seen. I wanted to share it with everybody.
I love that. That's pretty significant there. How's the business side of it going? How are you happy with the income you've been able to develop, and what do you see happening in the future?
Yeah, I'm very happy with it. It grew a lot bigger than I imagined it would, and I'm not even a year into it. And I plan on growing it even bigger.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to get together with everybody and go from there. It's funny you said you went to Ankeny. We're going to be in Ankeny here in the near future, about July 17th and 18th. What would you say to a guy that's listening to this and he goes, I don't know, should I take 2 days and go to that Fundamentals of Agronomy program? What would you say to that guy?
Drop whatever you're doing. I would definitely go. Everybody that's gone takes something home and implements it. It's like drinking out of a fire hose, as you guys say, with the information. You won't be able to take all the information in.
Yeah, it's a lot. You've been to the program more than once, yes?
6 times this year.
Correct. And the bottom line is, I go a lot like you, and every time I pick up something new, I gain something that makes me more effective, and I just love. And talk to me, Josh, what's the value of being able to hang out with other people who are progressive? Because you get to meet a lot of progressive people there, right?
Yeah, it's nice meeting other open-minded farmers. It seems like around me, everybody's kind of closed-minded, but it's neat seeing how other guys are farming in different areas and open to trying new things.
Yeah, it's really cool. And that's what this is all about is, looking how can we improve? How can we get better? And, there are people out there who are perfectly content with exactly what they're doing. And that's cool.
Yep.
That's not a problem. We're not here to pass judgment or to push, but we're looking for the people who are looking to do it a little bit different, a little bit better. That's what's here. Well, Josh, I've already eaten up a bunch of your day, and I appreciate your time. I know you're a very busy man. And talk to me, just anything on your heart you would share with the listeners here as we get ready to wrap this up.
If you guys are thinking about trying something different, we'd love to meet you in Ankeny this summer.
Absolutely. You're going to be there?
I'm going to be there.
Awesome. So, guys, here's what I'm going to say. I am going to wrap this up, and I'd like you to come on down. I know Josh would love to meet you. I would love the opportunity to get to meet you, get to know you, and set through the 2 days and figure out how you can make another 15 to 25 bucks an acre. That's our goal. That's what we're looking for, and go from there. Folks, we do appreciate you tuning in as we drop these podcasts once a week. We've got lots of good ones coming. Big shout out to you boys up north, all of our canola, sunflower, barley growing friends. We are going to be up in Minot on July the 10th doing a small grains meeting, and we're excited about that. If you'd like some information on that, reach out to us. You guys, if you need more information, you can always text Karen at 641-919-5570. Thank you as always, and we look forward to seeing you soon, and we really do hope you're having a better day.